Hey guys, I got a new pistol light laser combo to kind of share with you here. I get contacted all the time by companies to review these types of lights, and for the most part, I say yes. I kind of figure I'm going to the range, a couple times a month anyhow, and I might as well take them, see if they work. Some of you guys may be searching on Amazon or whatever, and maybe you can't afford, the $300 Surefires or the, $150 Streamlights. Even like these ones here from Phoenix, I think this one's $130. It's a light laser combo. The Olight one, I think it's close to $130. And some of these budget ones come in more like the $50 to $60 range. And if they perform well, maybe it's an option for you. So to be perfectly honest with you all, I'm not even sure the manufacturer name or the model number or anything yet. When they contacted me, they just showed me some pictures and did not provide any type of links. So I don't have a whole lot of information just yet on it, but this is the box. This is what it says here. This was from Amazon, but it says it's 1,000 lumens rechargeable. It's a combo with the Picatinny rail. But I figure we'll do an unboxing, see what's in here, and then maybe I'll learn some stuff while we're going through this. So we got a user's manual. Let's open that up real quick and see if it does tell us anything. And it looks like it is blank there where it should say what it is. So that probably tells me there's multiple companies that are probably selling this exact same light and they just put their own name on it. So in here, looks like a couple different Allen keys. This is rechargeable. It's a magnetic rechargeable. So that's what that looks like. And we'll charge it up here in a bit too. And here is the light itself. It appears to be everything in the box. And that looks like that is our model number, LSS500. I'm just going to kind of quickly look over it to see if I see like any noticeable blemishes or imperfections. I don't see anything. The anodization actually feels pretty good. It's not like that real slippery type of coating. There's a little bit of a shine to it, but it's actually not too much. Quickly talk about some of the features. Like I said, it is a light and laser combo. It's got that built-in rechargeable battery. It fits compact, which is considered like Glock 19 size and bigger. It does not fit small or subcompacts or micro pistols or anything like that. It's got water resistance and shock resistance. We'll obviously shoot it and make sure that there's, it doesn't flicker or shut off or anything like that. It's 6061 T6 aluminum. And the different modes, you can have it towards laser only, light only, laser and light both on, or strobe. Looks like you can have either a blue laser, a red, or a green. I'm not sure which one we have. The light output is 1,000 lumens, so that's pretty good. We'll check that out at nighttime and see what that actually looks like. It's using a Cree LED. If it's just laser, it'll run about 17 hours. If you're using light and laser, about 50 minutes. If it's light only, about an hour. That's pretty standard, actually. The waterproof rating on it is IPX6, and it is drop tested at 2 meters. Get you guys some real quick rough dimensions and weight on it. We're looking at about 2.5 inches, maybe just over in length. Height, we're at like a 1.5 inches. And width at the widest part up here, let's see, we'll go about up to that screw, maybe 1.25 inches total. The body itself is just over 1 inch. And a weight on it, 3.1 ounces. Kind of quickly go over the light itself. So you got the lens and the bezel up here. There's the LED. It actually looks like it's constructed pretty well. Coming back here, this is how you're obviously going to mount it to your rail. Some type of warning up there. This side doesn't really have anything, just like the branding. Down here, you're going to have your elevation adjustments. So it's up, down. And it looks like there is like a little bit of a slot, so you can use those Allen keys, but it does look like there's a slot that you could put a screwdriver or something in there as well. We got the magnetic charging port. This side, more branding. And then we have our windage adjustment on this side. And that one, it looks like you can only use an Allen key for it. And then at the back on both sides, we have a button for the light, button for the laser. And again, that's on both sides. This is actually like casted, like that's not going to move. They kind of look like they're paddle switches, but that does not move. Only the buttons will activate. I reviewed this laser light combo several months ago, and my biggest complaint was it's almost impossible to hit those like buttons, like to activate it, to actually use it. Like your finger just almost couldn't even get in there. This is completely different. Those are actually raised and exposed. I almost would like to see a little more separation in there, but I can definitely hit those way easier and actually turn the thing on. The charging cable for this is almost 2 feet long. I really appreciate that. I've had some of these where they're so short and you go to put it into your outlet and literally this thing like hangs there. So we'll get this thing plugged in and see what that looks like. So again, magnetic. We'll see if it just snaps in. Yeah, it just snapped into place. And there is a red light right now. And when it is finished charging, that will turn green. All right, let's quickly go over the operation of it. It's pretty simple. If you want the light, you simply press the light. Again, that's supposed to be 1,000 lumens, and I can tell you it's very, very bright. It's also supposed to have 20,000 candela and then a beam distance of 243 meters. If you want laser, you just simply click that. It does appear to be a little bit of a halo effect on that. I'll see what it looks like at a further distance, but I can see just a little bit of a shadowing down there. And also on my hand, I do see a little bit, but oftentimes on lasers, it's just because of the distance. Like I'm literally like a foot away from this table. And sometimes when you get out, 15, 20 feet, you won't notice that at all. We'll check that out outside later. If you want light and laser, unfortunately, you do have to hit both buttons. You can't program it to where both things come on at the same time. So like, let's just say you have your light on, you then have to hit the laser button, and it's probably going to be hard for the camera to pick it up. I'm going to back up here a little bit. Right there is the laser. So you can see that moving around. You can also do it the opposite way. So like, let's say that you had your laser on, you can then turn on the flashlight part. Again, it's kind of hard for it to see, but it's right there. So either way, you can have one on and then turn the other on. Does have a strobe feature as well. I don't particularly care for how this works, but so basically what you have to do is you have to hold the light button for a few seconds, and that takes you into strobe. All right. And then when you shut it off, now when you turn it back on, you're still in strobe. So you're kind of always in strobe until you hold it and turn it back onto regular light. I kind of wish that it was set up to where light would come on, you could hold for a few seconds, get strobe, let off, and then you go back to just your regular light. And if you're wondering, you can have strobe and laser at the same time as well. You see it right there. So we'll get this mounted, and according to the instructions, as you can see, guys, I'm working with empty guns here. Magazines right there on all of them. It says that you have to have at least 1.37 inches of clearance from your slot to your trigger guard area. So if we went right here, I'm only at like 1 and maybe an 1/8. So it likely will not fit on this pistol, but we'll see. All right, so definitely with the screw in this furthest position, it will not fit, won't even get close. But I think that if we move the screw back here, I think it'll fit. We'll see. Let's move that around. And yeah, so moving that screw all the way to the back, I was able to mount that on there. It's rock solid, not going anywhere. It does cover the edge of the trigger guard there. There is a little bit of space, so I might try moving it to that middle spot and see if I can't bring it back even a little bit more. I mean, I can reach those controls perfectly fine right there, but I think I would like to have this butt up against that trigger guard and fill in that space if we can. I will caution you, if you're moving that screw around, there's a little spring on the end that is not captive. That spring will slide right off. And I dropped it on the carpet and had a hard time finding it. And there's no way to really tighten that down without that spring. So don't lose that. So on this particular gun, it will not fit that middle one. You see how part of that is still being obstructed? So I would have to run it right there in that last spot in order to have that the screw be able to get all the way through it. But I'm surprised that it actually fit it in the first place. So even something this size, you can run this on it. All right, got a Taurus G3C here. Again, a pretty small gun overall. Let's see what that shows from that middle of that slot. We're maybe 1 and 3/16 or so. It's really, the rail itself is not much longer than what that SR22 was. Let's go from slot to slot there, but either way, let's see what this looks like here. See what how far we can get. So we know for sure that back slot is going to work. What about the middle? The middle kind of moves down like that. I don't know if that'll work or not. It looks like there is enough clearance right there. So let's try that, see what it looks like. So on the Taurus, I did use that middle one, and there's just the slightest bit of up and down play. It's almost like that's like a teeter-totter if you use that middle one. So if I was on something this size, I might move it back to that back one. But the only problem with that is that it brings us away just a little bit more. It's a pretty decent fit right there. It just barely covers the trigger guard, still allows plenty of room for your finger to get in there, easy access to the controls. There's no side to side movement at all, and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm just pointing out that there is a little bit, I don't know how well that even shows, but when I pull on it, I can get that to move a little bit from there. So this is a TX22. It's Glock 19 size. This is really what this light is designed to fit. This and larger. It comes right up to the trigger guard area perfectly. It comes over the trigger guard just a little bit, which is really good. It's rock solid on here. No side to side, no up and down movement whatsoever. This puts it in a really good position to reach those controls, whether it's light or laser, either one. And then your support hand, again, slide right down, right onto them. Very easy to activate. All right, so up next, we will get out to the range. Again, make sure there aren't any issues with this. And then we'll also get in some nighttime shots. All right, guys, try to give you an idea of what the LSS500 looks like inside the house. See the camera's adjusting there, but it has that really nice kind of defined hot spot there. And here is the laser. And you can see, just like I did show on the table, there is a little bit of that like artifact or halo effect kind of just below it. All right, guys, I'll show you the LSS500 outside. Again, not the darkest of corners, so there's a couple of lights on here, but it will at least give you an idea of what this thing looks like. Hopefully you can see that light set up really well. And just for reference, I'm about 30 feet or so away from that wall. And here is the laser on it. Nice beam on it. All right, this corner is a little bit darker. I'm about 45 feet away from this corner. And I'll give you one last point of reference here. I'm about 40 feet away from this tree. Light that up. All right, guys, out at the range today with that LSS500 light laser combo. We'll do a few rounds just with the light on, make sure that there's no flickering, make sure it doesn't shut off. Then we'll get that laser sighted in and then probably put 100 rounds or so total through it. Got the target set up about 7 or 8 yards downrange. I'm going to zoom in here to kind of let you guys see what that laser looks like. Outside, I don't see that little halo effect type thing at all that I showed you on the table, and then that we could see inside at nighttime. But yeah, out here in the daytime, I don't see that at all. All right, got one magazine through. I will go back and rewatch that to make sure there wasn't any type of flickering, make sure it didn't shut off or anything like that. It didn't appear to, but I will make sure of it. All right, we're gonna do a couple shots here with the laser. This is not sighted in. I'm gonna kind of go up toward the neck area just to kind of see where we're at on the first couple. All right, I made some adjustments, kind of see where we're at here now. Then I'll kind of go for neck area. I'm looking at just laser. All right, I'm starting to get that laser dialed in. I will say that just the smallest of turns seems to make a bigger adjustment than what I'm used to. But just to kind of give you guys a reference, my hand covers up just about that. These targets are really small, but that's pretty good. I had one that was a little bit of a miss there, but overall not bad. We'll run a couple more magazines through and see how it does. So hopefully seeing those nighttime shots and then the range footage is somewhat helpful for you. Definitely bright enough inside a house. I would like to see the hot spot get a little bit narrower. That would increase the candela. As you can see on the wall, the hot spot covered almost that entire wall. And then outside, when I was like underneath that canopy thing, it kind of just lit up that whole area. And if they were able to change this beam and make it just a little bit tighter, it would be a really, really good light. It's pretty good as it is, though. At the range, the light stayed on. I actually put about 80 rounds through it total that day. I kept the light on the entire time, and then I added the laser for some of it. And no problems with that light, no flickering, no shutting off. I will say that with the laser, sighting it in, it did take me a little bit. So when I first started, I kind of basically tried lining it up with my sights a little bit. And when I went to make an adjustment, I turned like, let's just say a quarter turn, and I couldn't even find the laser. Like it had adjusted it so far off paper and like almost off ground where I was having a hard time finding it. So then I kind of adjusted it back that quarter turn, and then I went like an eighth of a turn, and I was still off paper. So just the smallest little turns made a huge adjustment. So it did take me probably like close to 5 minutes to get that sighted in. I didn't have any issues activating the light or the laser. I was a little bit worried because these are so close together that if you have bigger fingers that it might be hard to find one or the other, but I really didn't have any issues. So some people are not going to like the fact that this has an internal battery that's not replaceable. Um, this company here has an internal battery. It's not replaceable. It's magnetic charging, and they have sold millions and millions. And I've had these for years and years, and I've never had any trouble. What's actually nice about this is that once you mount it to your pistol, you actually don't. I've had some where you have to remove it and the battery comes out the back, which is less than ideal. Now, like Streamlight and some of the others, you basically unscrew the front and the battery will come out that way. But I've definitely had them that come out the other way. But this, you never have to take that off of your rail, so you don't have to worry about trying to sight things back in or anything like that. And this magnet is actually super strong. You just get close and it just hooks right up to itself. Now, I will say that some of the other brands will have a little battery indicator like on the side, so that when you turn that on, it'll be like green to let you know that your battery is still good. If you turn it on and it's maybe like an orange or red, it means you should get it on the charger. This one does not have that feature. So at the time of me recording this video, these are available on Amazon for $56. And that's a pretty good buy for a light laser combo. I mean, it's for sure half the price, if not even a third of the price of some of those other ones. One other quick thing before we end this video, I did want to let you guys know, I showed you earlier how it has the strobe on the light. It also has strobe on the laser. I have no idea what you would use it for, but I did want to let you know that it's there. So you basically just hold it in, and then you get like a blinking laser light. And I don't know what it would be used for, but it does have it. So yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty decent little light for, $55, $56. Everything works as it should. It seems to be pretty well made. So I will leave an Amazon link down in the video description. If you guys want to read any more information about it or pick one up, it'll be down there. So all right, guys, that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.